listing process comes to an end when it's whittled down to maybe to comply with the death rate in their counties. Akisa.
Amima, thank you very much for joining us. Our senior reporter there, Patrick Amimo, joining us from our City Centre studios. Let's cross over quick and take a look at matters education. A new report on public universities has revealed shocking levels of academic theft in some institutions in the country. The university's audit report, released Thursday by Education Cabinet Secretary Fred Matiang'i, detailed how students and institutions conspire to go round the set standards of quality as part of the remedial action and to restore credibility to the country's higher education system. Many degrees are set to be recalled, and to further stop the rot, the report has outlined serious measures, including scrapping off the school-based programs. Let's take a look at some of the glaring dings of that report quickly before we get into a discussion here. Let's take a look at some of the consequences that come out of this audit conducted by the Commission for University Education. Thousands of diplomas could be recalled. These are some of the consequences. So if you have a degree, you actually do have a reason to worry. Is it a credible degree? Is it fake? You will definitely find out in the coming days. Some universities offer non-accredited programs, and this has come out of this audit report by the Commission of University Education. And these are programs that are not necessarily recognized by the Commission for University Education, and they seek to stop it, one of them being the school-based degree programs that have been stopped immediately. This mostly happens to, say, teachers who go to the university after during the holiday period, so this has been stopped immediately. So if you are going through this program, you seriously need to contact your institution. Executive degrees have also been suspended, and papers have been recalled. And to this effect, those with PhDs after executive degrees are to be barred from teaching in Kenyan universities. This is definitely going to affect a lot of people. Most honorary degrees may also be recalled from this particular audit report, and some completing undergraduate studies that have been done under 9 months. Those who got into universities with P1 certificates, bridging courses, or less than C+, may lose their degrees or university slots. So if you studied your degree for about 9 months or got in with a P1 certificate or bridging courses, you might really lose that degree. And to help us dissect this issue, joining me in studio now is Professor Tom Odhiambo, a lecturer at the University of Nairobi. Thank you very much for joining us here on News Desk. Quickly, what does this mean for Kenyan universities, this audit report?
I mean, this is good. For the first time in so many years, we have a situation where somebody is actually looking at the higher education in a critical way. This has never happened in so many years since I was an undergraduate student till I came back to this country after studying abroad for my 2 degrees, and I started teaching. Everybody says there's the rot in the education system, but nobody actually pinpoints where the rot is. And even this report hasn't even started to scratch where the rot is. The rot is much bigger than the report seeks.
So this is a welcomed move?
It's a welcome move, but it's really, like I've said, it's just the beginning of scratching of the rot. The rot is deeper than this. Yeah.
So what do we expect to see in the coming days? And do you think this particular way of doing things that Dr. Fred Matiang'i is looking at, will it completely clean up our education system if he keeps at it?
Well, I mean, I don't necessarily support the way he does things, but I'm probably happy at the likely consequences of what he's done. I would really have wanted a situation where there's a lot more engagement with the teaching staff, the support staff, the so-called stakeholders, the parents. I would ask you a very simple question. The thousands of parents in Kenya who send their children to universities, when were they consulted over this? I don't remember anybody coming to the university actually and interviewing the staff. I don't remember. They will say, those who have issued this report, the Commission for University Education and the minister will say that the universities were involved, that some members of staff were interviewed. But I'm not so sure. I've been teaching at the University of Nairobi for almost 8 years now. I don't remember any one time when somebody came over to me and said, you've been teaching literature for so many years. What do you think is wrong here? But let's